We're seeing tremendous momentum in the gaming space. Since we released the intrinsic in-game measurement standards, we're seeing more publishers lean in. Um, we're also seeing a lot of more players come to the space. So Roblox announced they're releasing an ad product. We also saw Samsung release their cloud gaming product, which means gaming is going to be on more screens everywhere. Um, we're also seeing a lot of brands coming into the space. Yeah, lots of excitement there.
What in terms of the IAB's role in helping to shape this market? It seems like it's both organization and standard setting. Can you talk about what you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, what we're trying to achieve can probably be categorized in about four buckets. So definitely people know IAB standards and clear, consistent ad models is something that we're definitely working on to increase trust and transparency in the industry. Um, we are working on adding an extension for in-game in the programmatic advertising space. As I mentioned earlier, we released an update to the 2009 in-game measurement standards, and we're working on defining some AR measurement standards this year. The second bucket, we're really looking to um, maintain that player first ethos. Authenticity in the gaming community is so important. So we really want to make sure that we walk in real slow and don't mess anything up and make this a better experience for everyone involved. And how we make that better for players is we make it germane to the environment that they're playing in, not disruptive. Players have said that ads can actually enhance their experience by adding to the realism of the game. When presented with the opportunity to watch an ad and get an in-game reward, players love to take that opportunity. So we're really trying to make sure that we do it from a space that respects the medium. Third way is community. So we are relaunching the games committee at the IAB. Our first meeting will be on March 21st. Um, just a way to sort of bring the community together and connect with other professionals in the space. We also are launching a gaming publisher council to really engage that part of the ecosystem. Supply, as you know, Mike, supply has been a challenge in the past, but I think with third-party identifiers going away, gaming content production costs continuing to grow, gaming publishers are looking for new ways to monetize their content and fund their content production needs. And then the last but not least, very important, is education. So that's a big part of why we started Playfronts, to sort of educate buyers in the space and their opportunities. And we're also releasing a gaming 360 course this year, which will sort of be a one-on-one on how to approach advertising in games.
To date, gaming is huge, but ad spending has trailed behind in terms of the opportunity. What do you think the biggest obstacle has been so far?
I think the biggest obstacle, and it's a really simple one, is misperceptions about the audience. I mean, we work in the space, so we're very familiar with it, but I think people still think of the gamer as the 22-year-old in a hoodie in their parents' basement. But that's far from true. Three out of four Americans game. 45% of them are women, 90% of Gen Z game, and 26% of Gen Z not only game, but say it's their favorite activity. So I think we're really working hard at chipping away those misperceptions, because once there's incentive and motivation to find that audience, I think buyers will leap in. People spend 13 hours a week gaming, and it's a highly attentive medium. Like, if you're not paying attention, your character dies. So where else can you find an engaged and attentive audience for 13 hours a week? It's really hard in this fragmented media landscape.
What's going to be different about this year's Playfronts, and what are you most excited about?
What I'm most excited about for this year's Playfronts is that we're continuing to lean into that metaverse as an on-ramp to gaming as an on-ramp to the metaverse conversation. It's 2 days, so we have a lot more talent on stage. We're also seeing more of the gaming community lean in this year. So, the gaming influencer space is huge, and having some talent from the gaming community there really adds legitimacy to the event. Yeah, those are the main things I'm excited for.
Why is it so important to engage directly with the gaming community for brands?
Because, as I mentioned, authenticity is really key in this medium. When people game, they step into being the hero in the game. So there's a high, they have agency to impact the environment and co-create the story with the gaming developer. So because of that, there's a high degree of ownership in the space, and people um, feel very attached to it and very invested in the space. So if a brand doesn't enter it authentically in a way that fits with the game and the audience and the context that they'll be in, uh, the implications are, the stakes are higher. So really needing to connect this industry with people who are in the space legitimately, I think that that's a really important goal of ours.
Lastly, you mentioned brands don't always know what to do with the metaverse, but this is a great way for them to get started and get their feet wet. Why is that?
If you think about it, if you think about the arc of um, media habits and the evolution, millennials are the first generation that grew up with the home console, and now they make up the majority of the US population. And they've sort of brought their love of gaming with them. So we're seeing gaming infiltrate lots of our lives, fashion, TV shows, music. If you think about Gen Alpha and Gen Z and the generations beyond, they're being born into immersive worlds. They're the generation of Roblox, Fortnite, Minecraft. So they game and they're in immersive worlds. So it's going to continue. So if brands aren't willing to try gaming to reach audiences now, what hope do they have of reaching these future generations that speak the language in games? Their social platform is games. They hang out in these immersive worlds. um, and the second reason is gaming is undervalued currently. If you compare the cost of CTV versus gaming, now is the perfect time to learn your authentic voice while it's undervalued, and while not all of your audiences are on there at the moment.